Morning from the North American Bear Center in Ely, Minnesota. It's another nice day today. I want to welcome everybody all around the world listening to this particular podcast today. It's a great day here. It's no clouds, light breeze, almost all blue sky. And I got Ted Bear here who's all wet. Looks like he's been in the pond for a little dip already. He's following our intern, who's got what we call the green thing. Don't ask me why we call it the green thing other than it's green. And it's a new enrichment toy that I believe Ted has only had once. Maybe not at all. Again, I'd like to welcome our visitors here at the North American Bear Center as well. This podcast is being broadcast worldwide to viewers who like to follow the lives of Ted, Lucky, Honey, Holly, as well as the research work of Dr. Lynn Rogers and his research bears. Here at the North American Bear Center today, we've got Ted Bear out, who is working on what we call the green thing. It's a new enrichment toy. It has one way to put the food in it, and it only has one hole. It's kind of an odd-shaped item. And as I said, I think Ted may have only had it once. Holly Bear has experimented with it once, and none of the other bears have actually tried to work on it. What's the point of us giving Ted this toy? Well, the point is really to demonstrate problem-solving skills. How does he know that there's anything in it? If there is something in it he wants, how does he manage to get in it? That particular toy has one hole about maybe 2.5 inches in diameter, not much more than that. If Ted sticks his tongue in there, which he could, it's actually too big for him to actually reach the food, so he has to find a way to manipulate it where the hole is down and the food actually falls out. So this we think is going to take a little bit more work. As I'm watching him now from my vantage point, his backside, he's trying to figure out how's this going to work. He realizes it's not quite like the other ones. So, I can just almost hear him thinking, not like the other ones. While he's doing that, we have Heidi on the other side of the pond. And we have Honey way on the other side. To my right, she's got a donut. She doesn't really want to come out here. Ted's out here, so she'd rather be alone. And that's not unlike something that something that Honey would do anyhow. It would be unlikely for her to approach Ted. Ted's here. She'll give him that space, and she'll just stay off over here to the right in the shade. Well, we've had a few developments with Holly this morning. Heidi was in giving her breakfast, and Holly was interested in some play this morning. That's an improvement over last night, where she wasn't all that interested in play. For those of you that watched the Holly Cam on bear.org, you might have seen that activity going on somewhere between 8:30 and 10 o'clock this morning. We are going to work at getting Holly back out. Whether that's going to happen today, tomorrow, or the next day, we really don't know. We may have rushed her and misjudged Lucky and her. And so we're going to take a step back or two with her and start again, working again at getting her out of her pen and maybe a little less potential interaction with her and Lucky as best we can. But we also need to give Lucky time to be outside as well, because Lucky needs to burn his energy too. Getting back to Ted over here with the green thing here, he's still working at it. For those of you that don't know, Ted is our 17-year-old male. He's the largest bear here of the four, and he weighs in at about 566, if I'm not mistaken, 566 the other day, and that's a pretty good weight for him. He has got an excellent coat on him right now. He looks really nice and shiny. He has not shed his winter coat yet. He still has the winter coat on, as do all the bears yet. All four of them still have that winter coat. Honey is beginning some shedding along her spine. If you do see Honey in the open, right down her spine, the fur is much lighter in color, and that will be shedding out. I'm going to go back to Ted here, watching Ted. He's flipping it and turning it and rolling it. If you are able to watch his front paws, how he is able to manipulate that thing, it's really incredible what they're able to do. It's not unlike what they would do in the wild if they had a log that they wanted to move, rocks that they wanted to move out of the way because they might have some ant larvae. These are all moves that they would be working on to get food in the wild. The bears in the wild spend a considerable amount of time looking for food. They prefer wild food. Here in the Ely area last year, the summer of 2013, we had an excellent year for wild food and wild berries. And a lot of people that live in this area, in the Ely Tower area, whether year-round residents or even seasonal residents, said, hey, we didn't see many bears this summer. Well, that's because the bears had plenty of wild food, and that is their preference. A couple years ago, the Ely area had a very poor food year, and there were many more sightings of bears because they had to work much harder for their food because there wasn't as much in the wild. It's a little early to determine whether this is going to be a good food year or not for the bears, but we did have a lot of snow, and we've had a reasonable amount of rain. But I do know that the ant colonies are running a little late this year. They should already be out at the end of May, and we haven't really seen that yet. So they're running a little behind schedule because that is going to be one of the next food items that the bears are going to be looking for here pretty quickly as the summer goes on. For those of you here at the North American Bear Center, as you watch Ted play with the green thing, I'm not sure if I said to you that we have 2.5 acres here. It is natural. We just fenced it when we built the place. It was just double fenced, and so it's natural woods back there. And so Ted, or any of the bears for that matter, whenever they get hot or they want to just take a nap, they can walk in the woods and maybe curl up under a balsam tree and take a nap. Or come down here right where Ted is right now and roll in that cedar pile, which is right behind him. That cedar pile is there for a purpose. Cedar pile has natural oils in it that when the bears roll in it, it also helps keep bugs away from them, mosquitoes, black flies, ticks, etc. And they know that. So the other day here, it was about 4 or 5 days ago, Ted spent about 5 minutes rolling in the cedar pile, and he made a point of putting his head in it, his ears, and rubbing his whole face with cedar chips, because that's the area where mosquitoes, ticks, and what have you tend to hit on bears. It's usually in the face, eyes, muzzle, and ear area. It tends to be where the hair is the shortest, and the most likely where those types of little bugs can get the bears. On their backs and other parts of their body, their fur is pretty thick, and it's really very difficult for mosquitoes, etc., to get into their skin. Well, I'm having a good time here watching Ted He's really having to work at this, and that's really great. I haven't seen him have to work at one of these for this long, and he's flipping it every way he can. I see the nose going there. He can smell there's more in it, and I think he's saying, darn, how do I get this out of here? I know there's another peanut in there. There's got to be. Ah, there went the long tongue. And that's interesting, his long tongue. Black bears do have long tongues, about 8-9 inches, and they are slightly sticky to the touch, so allows him to do what he just did, pick up one little tiny peanut and not pick up anything else with it, so he doesn't pick up the dirt, the sand, and the rocks that would go along with it. So they're very apt at being able to pick up just what they want and leave the rest. Interesting, Ted turned it up like he just had it standing up because the hole is on the bottom. For those of you out in worldwide watching this, and you have watched our bears do this a number of times, this is probably one of the longest times I've seen Ted work at a toy to get what he wants. This is a toy we're going to have to give back to Ted again. I can see that, because he's figuring it out, but he'll be better next time, I'm sure. Which just points out the fact that black bears have good long-term memories, and he will remember this. He will remember this enrichment toy next time, and he'll remember what he had to do to get the food out. I want to say thank you for everybody who tuned in this morning. We will be going up to the other pens, specifically Holly as well, to give her something. And for those of you here at the Bear Center, you can watch that interaction on a TV right here by the steps. Her pen is at about 1 o'clock up in the bear enclosure here. We are open today 9 to 7, and we are open every day from 9 till 7. Your admissions pass today, like every day, is a day pass. So you're free to come and go as many times as you would like during the day. We have a number of things that you could look at while you're waiting to see another bear. We have over 60 videos in the exhibit hall, as well as a lot of information about every aspect of a black bear's life. From local food groups that they eat, scat analysis, mother and cub behavior and how mothers care for their cubs, especially in the den the first early couple months, mating season, play, and various vocalizations that bears have been documented making in the wild, and the significance of those vocalizations. I would encourage you to spend some time in the Ely area. The downtown Ely area has a number of places to eat and places to enjoy, as well as one of our friends, the International Wolf Center at the other end of town. It's another great place to visit, and you can learn a lot about wolves who also inhabit the Ely Tower area along with black bears. Thank you very much for joining us today. Look forward to seeing you in the exhibit hall a little later. Bye-bye.